Hi you guys, welcome back to the Kneady Homesteader channel. This video is going to be, you guys, just a public service announcement, okay? I'm gonna try not to be salty, but these types of things tend to ruffle my feathers, and I swear it's a test from the Lord of whether or not I can hold my tongue. So Lord, hold my tongue. I have to address this though. It was brought to me by one of the sweetest subscribers I have. She's been following me for years, and just a really wonderful woman. She emailed me a few days ago, and she noticed that there was a course being offered, and I'm going to pull up the picture right here so that I don't get any information wrong. It is being offered by Washington State University. I believe it's their extension office. The fee for the, and I'm gonna leave a photo of it so that you guys can see the ad yourself, and I will insert it here so you can see it yourself. So you can see that this is a food preservation online training series. Have you always wanted to learn how to safely preserve food but need help getting started? Are you a seasoned canner but have questions or want to know the latest information on canning? If so, then join us for a series of online canning workshops this spring. So they offer 3 dates, April 30th, May 7th, and May 14th. On the other side, you see the fee is $25. The training is hosted on a Zoom platform. They offer the QR code to register, and it's being offered by Washington State University. I believe it's probably their extension office. So I just want you to take a look at this ad. Now, it only has 2 photos. But can you, to a trained eye, to a canner, a canning queen or king, you can probably take a look at both of these photos and notice what's wrong in each of them. So out of 2 photos that they could have chosen for this ad, they choose these 2. But to an untrained eye, and you know, I asked my son, I asked Mason. Mason's going to be 13. He's not a canner. And I asked him if he could tell me what was wrong with each one of these photos. And of course he couldn't, because he doesn't have a trained eye. However, somebody like me who does can, and to many of you, you'll be able to notice it right off the bat. So the first picture, the top one, on the left-hand side, that shows the canning jars. We see jars are not only double stacked, but they're triple stacked without any protection in between the layers. So we have jars on top of seals, and those jars on top of other seals. And so the problem with this is, if you stack, I mean, double stack is bad enough, but they show here triple stacking. If you stack jars on top of canned lids, you run a great risk of popping that lid. And so you're going to pop this seal, but then it's going to fake seal, reseal on you, because the glue is still going to be kind of sticky. So the pressure of having multiple jars on top of a seal that's been popped is that it can still be sticky. So when you go to pop it open, it might not have that classic pop that you're used to hearing when you open up a jar, but it'll appear as though it is sealed, because that's what we call a false seal. Because the weight has pressed the lid back down onto the rim of the jar, causing it to look like it's sealed, but it's not. And so this, of course, can be a great issue, concern with spoiled food, rotting on your shelf, growing bacteria, growing mold spores, a number of issues. So this is just very, very unsafe to do. If you have to double stack, they always recommend that you put a layer of like a cardboard or something in between the layers so that the weight distribution amongst all the jars is even, instead of putting direct weight on the jar itself. The second photo that they chose to use looks to me, by the size of it, by the height of it, and I could be wrong, but it looks to be a 941 to me, at least a 930. That does not look like a 921. It's pretty tall. But in any case, it's an all-American pressure canner, extremely heavy. By the time you add water to that and jars full of food, we're talking a lot of weight. And they're showing it on a glass top stove. Now, the problem with this, and I know some people with glass tops have used all-American canners, but the concern with using an all-American canner on a induction stove is that the bottom retains heat for so long, even after you shut it off, and so it can cause the glass of your cooktop to crack, to break. And you can look more information on that up. Do they make induction canners? Yes, one that I know of from Presto. And it will say Presto pressure canner for induction stovetops. That's the only one that I'm aware of. So you see the concern in both of these photos. Okay, I'm back. So my friend, my subscriber, reached out to them and just let them know. Actually, she only let them know about the canner. She didn't even tell them about the double and the triple stacking of jars without any layer of protection in between them. She only mentioned having the canner on the glass top stove. And to newbies, to people with an untrained eye, just to someone new to the canning world, this might be misleading, and it might cause people to think that they could use it. My problem is with the response, which I have right here. And I will put on the screen right now for you so you can read along with me the response from Washington State University. Now, I eliminated the names of both my subscriber as well as the person who replied to her email for privacy reasons. That's really not the topic here. I'm not attacking anyone per se as personally. I am calling this out as a whole to Washington State University. So it says, "Dear so-and-so, I appreciate your email and concern. You may be pleased to know that many new canners can be used on glass cooktops." Now, like I said, I'm only aware of the Presto, and I'm also aware that they no longer test. It is my understanding that they no longer even test canners at any of the extension offices anymore. You can correct me if I'm wrong down below if they have changed that. But the last that I heard is that they are no longer testing canners, period. So I would like her list of the new canners that can be used on glass cooktops, because I'm only aware of one, and I'm also aware that they are no longer being tested for safety. So let me know if you know of more canners, but I wish she would have listed them, because I'm interested to know the answer in that. She goes on to say, "Please rest assured I will teach accurate and safe information, including proper lids to use and which canners can be used on different cooktops. As you," and this is the salty part. This is the part that got me lit. "As you may imagine," it's so condescending. Finding accurately represented high quality images on this topic is challenging when developing an advertisement, so we do our best. Please feel free to contact us anytime if you have any additional questions or concerns. Sincerely, so-and-so. Okay. This is where I get lit. Ma'am, no. No. If you were unable to find, it was only 2 pictures. If you are unable to find 2 photos for your online home food preservation course teaching people safe canning, and the only 2 photos that you could find that are, I don't know, high quality images on this challenge, on this topic, do better. I don't believe. Call me. Sister, call me. I'll give you 2 photos to use of safe canning, a representation of safe canning, and I'll give them to you in high quality. But no ma'am, this is either laziness or you don't know better. But to a trained eye who's teaching home food preservation to people who don't have a trained eye, no ma'am, we're doing better than this. Okay, no. You could have, I don't know. I know it's very trendy now to use AI photographs, you know, to ask Chat GPT to make you photos. But if you teach a course, and this is what you do for a living, and you're getting paid for it, take a photo. If you can't find a photo, if you can't create a photo using AI, take a photo. If you are a home can preservationist, if you can at all, you should have photos even in your photo library. I have about 3,000 of them. Pick one. Pick 2. But to put up 2 photos that are so, I mean, those photos would be great for what not to do when canning. But the problem that I have is that people will come to me now with those photos and tell me, well, I saw it in Washington State. They had, look at their advertisement. They show an All-American on a flat glass top. So why can't I use it? They show triple stack jars, so why can't I do it? At which case, then I have to say, well, because that's not recommended. Well, then why would a university, a trusted university extension office who's teaching this, why would they post that if it wasn't safe? Well, because high quality images on this topic is challenging when developing advertisement. Stop it. Stop it. Do better. You owe the people taking your class better than that. Shame on you. Shame on you. And as somebody who has been canning for over 10 years and has helped the sisters behind me pass the baton to them, just as the sisters ahead of me pass the baton to me, I have got to speak out on this. More of us need to speak out on this. Do better. No. Find 2 better pictures that represent canning. Not a triple stacked photo and not an All-American canner on a glass top. You could have chose anything else. Those were the 2 high quality images, the only 2 that you could find. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Like I said, if you ever need photos, call me. I got you. I will send you 10. You can pick the best 2. But don't do this. It's not fair to the people who are taking that course. It's not fair to the people that are going to come to your website to learn about canning. It's not fair to put that on. You don't know what you don't know. Okay, I don't know Japanese. So you can't fault me when I can't speak it or I can't read it. People coming to you to take this course don't know that your photos are unsafe. They don't know what they don't know, but you know. You do. You should know. If you're teaching a course and charging $25, I would expect you to know. So, no. And to anyone taking this course, I just want to call it out. Don't triple stack, don't double stack, but definitely don't triple stack your jars. It can cause your seals, you put so much time, you put so much effort, you put so much love, and you put so much money into those jars, into those lids. You put them by in your pantry only to have the seal pop because you didn't know that you weren't supposed to double and triple stack, because the photo at the university shows that you can. They don't know that that's generic photos. They don't know that you're creating AI generated photos or pulling some random photos off the internet. Of all the random photos you pulled off the internet, those are the two the best that you could find? No. No, ma'am, don't believe it. Don't believe it. And it fires me up because you don't know what you don't know. And people are out here already trying to figure it all out. Okay, canning, comes natural to a lot of people. To some people, it doesn't. So they're already trying to figure out the rules of what to do, what not to do, trying to remember everything. But by putting up false advertising, what I'm going to call the bad advertising. Bad, horrible advertising. I told you I'm going to try not to work up, but Lord, I am convicted. I'm convicted. As a university, I just expect you to do better. So I'm going to call you out and ask you to do better. And to the woman who wrote the salty response to my subscriber, who was very kind and just wanted to call that out, that might be confusing to newbies, to newbies that are canning. We do our best. That's why I'm saying do better. If this is your best, I hate to see your worst. And with that, I'm going to shut this off. And I'm going to go give it to the Lord. So anyway, all right, I love you guys. Let this be a public service announcement to you that not everything you see online is good, even when you're trying to find it from a trusted source. Question everything, and take everything with a grain of salt, because I don't blame people for not being able to tell that those photos are bad. They're bad representation of canning, and they shouldn't be on an advertisement from Washington State University on an ad selling canning classes for beginners. And that is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I just want to add, I love you guys. I want everyone to be able to learn how to can, to preserve their food, to put food by. Not just for big catastrophe emergencies, but for life's little emergencies, like our accident that put me in the hospital for 2 months. To be able to have food at the house that will feed your family in case you can't. It is so important. It is a life skill we should all know. And I want everyone to learn it safely. And I want everyone to have eyes and ears of discernment that not everything, even from a trusted site, is good. Unfortunately, we need to hold these people accountable and ask ask them to be responsible when they're putting out information. They're not just looking for pretty pictures. I don't care about a pretty picture. I would rather you put no picture out at all than to put up bad photos that could be dangerous, that could make people lose a lot of money, or, you know, I mean, God forbid, make someone sick. Start a fire from a canner that's too heavy and not proper to use for that stovetop. I don't care about pretty pictures, and neither does anybody else watching this video. Washington State University. What we care about is our safe photos. Or don't put any at all. Take your own photos if you need to. Like I said, hit me up. I will give you photos for free. You don't have to pay me for them. You could use them. But to just have the excuse that you were just looking for high quality photos and you do the best you can, that's not good enough. And more of us home canners that do know better need to call this stuff out. I want everyone to be safe, and I love you. I love you. And I was convicted to make this video out of love and out of concern, and to share this information. So if you take this class and you see those photos, disregard them. They're just pretty pictures for the class. I don't even find them pretty personally, because my red flags go up when I see both of them. But you don't need photos. If anyone really wants to learn how to can, they don't need to be sold on it. They want to learn this life skill. It's important to learn this life skill. So with that, God bless. And if you do take this course, I hope and I pray it's a good one. I hope and pray it's good information, sound information, safe information. And there's, you know, always inspiration here on YouTube to help inspire you on your canning journey. And I wish you the best, and I'm excited for you. If you have any questions for me, leave them down below. I'll try my very best to answer them. But I felt pretty passionate about this, especially when I read the reply that she got. Was very just dismissive, and she deserved better, and your students deserve better. So there it is. Anyway, all right, you guys take care. God bless, and I will be seeing you soon.